Hello everyone, this is an introduction to Hurricane Sandy flooding by Mark Oakley. So we're going to jump straight into it here. We're going to talk about the weather patterns that caused the flooding. First, we need to know the background information. Hurricanes are a seasonal weather event ranging from the beginning of June to the end of November. The main reason for the flooding in all of the eastern side of the United States was because of the hurricane's rainfall. Additionally, a lot of wind and sea water caused flooding in New Jersey and New York City because of the low sea levels. Some background information about this hurricane is that it started in Jamaica and almost made a straight northward pattern up to Maine and off split. I thought this picture was pretty cool because it showed the tremendous power and size of this hurricane, just to show that almost, I mean, we can't see North Carolina. All we can see is Caribbean islands and then Florida and almost just a tiny bit of Louisiana, just to show the size of the hurricane. Next, we're going to take a look at flooding and space and time of this hurricane. This was a one-time event because it was a storm. Frequency and magnitude haven't changed because of the climate changes. It was just a seasonal event that happened. This was one of the largest to hit the east coast of the United States. And looking back at that picture before, the storm was about 900 miles wide. Hurricane Sandy dumped about 7 inches of rain from South Carolina up to New Jersey. There were no anthropogenic factors to the storm because it wasn't caused by human pollution or any other human factors. It was just a naturally occurring thing. This picture here is meant to show rainfall in millimeters and to show where it was more intense. As you can see, the red is almost 10 to 13 inches, and the green ended up being 7 to 8. Continuing forward, I want to take a look at the social and economic impacts of Hurricane Sandy. There are humongous storm surges in New Jersey and New York City. Almost 8 million people lost power across the United States. Furthermore, there were almost 50,000 people at risk of losing power because of the tremendous winds that the hurricane had. At the time, it affected most life of New York City because the entire city was shut down to 2 to 4 days. New York City received almost $17 million in relief efforts. The storm damages cost about $68.7 billion, which at the time was the second most expensive right after Hurricane Katrina. Now we know Hurricane Harvey was the second most expensive, so it moved it down to 4. There were about 233 total deaths caused directly and indirectly from the storm, and 157 that were in the United States. In the last picture, we saw a picture of a beach in New Jersey that was completely underwater from the ocean in Hurricane Sandy. And I wanted to show a picture of New York City and some of the flooding and wind damage that they had experienced so that we could kind of compare the two and show that this storm was extremely powerful and the damages were great at the time. Finally, I want to talk about mitigation and adaptation strategies. There haven't been any major responses because there hasn't been a major flood in that area since 2012. One of the major improvements that has been made was the system in which people were evacuated and warned. As we know, a few weeks ago we had Hurricane Florence, and our phones are going crazy from National Weather Service saying that there would be flash floods and floods everywhere. So um, now people in this area have better plans that can get them uh, get them out of there faster if another hurricane decides to hit.